Now, Afghanistan's Electoral Commission has announced there is need for a second round after August's disputed presidential elections. The voting is expected to take place on the 7th of November. The announcement comes one day after a UN-backed election watchdog group claimed they had found evidence of fraud and rejected almost a third of Hamid Karzai's ballots. The Afghan president has said he accepts the findings at a news conference held in Afghanistan. Well, for more on the political situation in the country, we go live to Abdullah Abdullah, the former Afghan foreign minister and the main rival to President Karzai at the polls. Hello to you, Mr. Abdullah. Thank you very much for joining us. Did you expect a runoff, and what kind of turnout do you envisage now, despite threats to the elections from the Taliban?
Yes, of course, I expected a runoff based on the votes, and that was the expectation of the people of Afghanistan. In terms of turnout, security problems will be there, but I think the faith of the people of Afghanistan has been strengthened on the process because they know that there was fraud, but at the same time they know that it was corrected, and we put one chapter behind us and looking forward towards the future. So the turnout will be higher based on that strengthening of the faith of the people on the process.
Karzai still seems to have more support than you. Do you think you can still win?
I'm very hopeful, and I'm not in a campaign mode at this stage, so I'll keep my reaction to your question modest, and campaign will start very soon, in 1 or 2, 3 days' time. And then I think there are good chances, because the people of Afghanistan do want change in the situation, and the opportunity is there.
Your spokesman claims you won't accept a power-sharing deal with Hamid Karzai as a compromise. Would you ever consider power-sharing?
I think my main aim was to have the real outcome of the elections out, which is already there, and then to bring change. The pursuit of the program for change in this country, that's my main aim. And I'm fully prepared to go for a runoff. If runoff was not possible due to circumstances, winter or any other circumstances, then I'm ready to talk about a solution, how to overcome this problem. But otherwise, I'm ready for a runoff.
Mr. Abdullah, could the weather or violence, for example, affect the poll? And if so, what happens then?
Sorry, I didn't get your answer.
Let me just repeat it.
Can you repeat it?
Could the weather or violence, for example, affect the poll? And if so, what happens then?
No, I think weather-wise, if we can hold it on time, like by the 7th of November, still it will be possible, because at that date, until that date, school children will be going to school. So it means that it will be possible for their parents to go and vote. So it's weather-wise, it will be okay. Security situation will be more or less the same. I don't think that there will be big changes, but it's a big practice exercise, general elections. So in that respect, while I'm fully prepared for going to the elections, at the same time, should this not be possible, I'm ready to talk to find a solution about it.
Mr. Abdullah, how will the poll this time be fair and without fraud? Who can guarantee this?
I think there isn't anything such as guarantee, but at the same time, based on the lessons of the last round elections, we can find better measures of supervision and monitoring, and we have certain ideas. I will not get into specifics of it, but we can have some measures in order to ensure transparency of the elections.
And Western countries hoped August's elections would showcase Afghanistan's democracy, but instead the spotlight has been on fraud. How much of a setback do you think this is for your country and the West?
I think I would have preferred a much more smoother process, but at the same time, the fact that the process has worked, and now the people of Afghanistan has a second chance, that in itself, it's a step forward. and it means that the process is working. So while I would have preferred a better process, because the results are still not known until 2 months, now it's 2 months from the elections, but at the same time it's not a setback. Yes, there were shortcomings, it was corrected, and there is a new opportunity.
Mr. Abdullah, Washington's holding back its plans to send more troops to the country until the legitimate government is elected. How big a problem is corruption in moving Afghanistan forward?
I think this is one of the main problems. This is one of the main problems. This is one of my main agendas as far as the future of this country is concerned. And I think this has led to the people's disenfranchisement, resentment among the people, in the gap between the people and the government. And in such a situation, insurgency has been strengthened. So this is a serious challenge for Afghanistan to tackle with it, but the political will has to be there. As far as I'm concerned, that's a top priority in the future for me, in any role.
Mr. Abdullah, thank you very much for joining us. That was Abdullah Abdullah, Afghanistan's former foreign minister and Hamid Karzai's main rival.